our lives, Father. Oh, we sing your praise every day of our lives.
What's up, guys? I'm Celeste Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, education on health and social well-being. Welcome to episode 6 of Get It Done, the prep series for Powerlifting American Nationals, where my goal is to come in and hit a 1,600 pound plus total. And we are officially 1 week out. Honestly, by the time this video drops, we'll probably be like 2 or 3 days out. But as of right now, in this moment, today, we are 1 week out. And I feel incredible. Like, this is easily the strongest I've ever felt on all 3 lifts at the same time at the 1 week out mark. And I'm really excited too, because it's one of these things where, and it wasn't just me, like myself, Petrie, Sean, Shun, a couple of my clients who I'm peaking similarly to me, because we're not all peaking the exact same way, but the ones who are peaking very similarly to me, we all were kind of feeling the same thing where, we all just had this really awesome, highest exertion loads for the week 4 last block for like the heaviest loads of prep. And then we came into this block, right, with the highest start point on week 1 we've ever had. And then coming into the week 2, this past week 2, which you guys saw the week 2 SBD, but all the sessions after that, even it's like I just didn't feel amazing. I just felt a little bit more like sluggish, a little bit more almost like run down, not like overly fatigued as in feeling beat up, but just not feeling quite as strong as what you would think or expect. But it's one of those things where it's like, one, it is week 2, and I know week 2s typically don't feel amazing anyway, so I remind myself of that, remind my clients of that. But also, I had to think about it from the standpoint of, okay, well, we just did the highest exertion workload this past block. So, as usual, the week 2 is kind of that week where we're kind of, we got through week 1, kind of lowered the fatigue by having an easier week 1, but still with the highest start point we've ever had. So week 2 is kind of just always that transitionary week, right? And it's one of these things where under normal circumstances, I don't think any of us would even care or freak out about it, because like, oh, it's just week 2. I'm going to bounce back week 3 as always. But it can be easy for people to get caught in their heads of being like, oh, I'm 2 weeks out from the meet and I feel this way, instead of looking at it as, hey, it's just week 2. This is normal. So I'm just glad that I trust the trends, glad that I got my clients to just chill and trust the trends, because we all just feel so much better now. Like today was really, really good. And shout out to my folks. I appreciate them, because Amber just was feeling really under the weather today. And I did not want to leave Alora home with her, like knowing that she needs to just sleep and get some rest. So shout out to them for being able to watch her on such late notice. And the cool thing about that is, because they were watching her and I didn't want to like spend too much time in the gym, I got to really just lock in and focus in today's session. That's probably why I trained at Pinnacle as well. There just doesn't tend to be as many people there during this time of day, whereas at AR, even though it's busier sometimes compared to others, it's always loud. There's always a lot of people. There's always a lot of energy in general. And I'm kind of in the same way that I don't really like, use pre-workout until my week 4. I want to kind of just desensitize myself from being around a lot of people too, being around a lot of energy, because I know I thrive off that. So I want to just come in today very calm, very focused, AirPods in, listening to very relaxing instrumental piano music, just keeping everything calm and just focusing on just moving automatically, executing each lift. And honestly, everything went really, really well today in regards to that. As far as the squat, you guys saw I hit 225 kg for my top set. That's 2.5 more than what I hit on my week 3 last block. And then for my back down sets, the 3x5 went to a 4x4 as it typically does on my week 3. And you guys have probably noticed my first 2 sets were just the high end range that I had assigned, 185 kilos, and then I lowered it to 175 for sets 3 and 4. The reason for that is that I am not really tapering for this meet at all in terms of volume. All my set volume across the big 3 is pretty much 99% the same. I'll go over the 1% that is different. And then even with my accessory work, I'm not really pulling anything back as much as I'm just regulating intensity, right? Like some of my upper body stuff, like maybe some of the pull downs or the rows, I might shave a set or 2 off of that just because I don't need the dynamic back movements to keep my fitness maintained on the big 3. But as far as like, my lower body work, like my leg press that I did today, my belt squats, still getting all 3 sets in, keeping the reps usual, just regulating the loads as far as intensity, keeping them right where they need to be to feel good, but not pushing them as hard as what I maybe typically would in a week 3. Same thing with, any accessory work that I'm not tapering off in terms of sets or volume, I'm just regulating the loads. So doing the same thing with my back down work, right? Like today, after I hit those first 2 sets, I'm like, okay, based upon where the RP kind of should be for my back downs and how my second set felt with the 407, I'm like, okay, let me just lower this weight by about, 10 kg, and that should have me being where I need to be RP wise and speed wise. And it felt really, really good in regards to that. Like I was able to keep that relative pop, because at this point, my top end, hitting my top end of my top sets is maintaining my fitness. The back down volume is just kind of there to get more of that practice, work on that explosiveness. That's what I'm focused on, right? Same thing with bench. Last block I hit 160 for my first single, and then 165 for the second single when I was on week 3. Today, I did 160 for the first single, then 167.5 for the second single, so 2.5 more on the second single than what I did last block, with commands, felt really good, and objectively moved so much better, not just than last block's week 3, but so much better than last week. And part of that is just from being on the new Alico pads, they have that at Pinnacle, but also I just feel that much stronger compared to last block. Despite how rough week 2 felt, I've gone through that transitionary phase. I feel like I've adapted, and now I'm in a really good spot in regards to that. And same thing, first back down set, hit with the high in the range, then lowered the weight down by about 10 kg for sets 2 and 3, just to keep the RP around where it needed to be. And then deadlifts, I actually ended up taking the exact same load that I did last block for the week 3, because my range was 260 to 262. Last block, my range was 257 to 260. Just took the 260 again so I could really see how I was moving comparatively, and it moved so much better than the last block. And then I did increase on my back downs. I did 205, I believe, last block for my week 3, for my 3x3. Today I did 210, and it felt so much easier than 205. So I know, and just I can feel it. I can tell on video I am stronger than what I was last block. And obviously last block we went off on the week 4. So I feel very confident between just keeping my variables consistent, my eating, my sleep, keeping my volume consistent, and only tapering off where I need to in the form of regulating intensity. That's going to be huge for me. So I'm really, really excited as far as that. And it's just the thing where it's like there's just no point in doing more than that as far as tapering. Like if you guys are subscribed to Powerlifting Now, you've seen my kind of craft minimalist taper approach, where even with our normal taper, we're only tapering so much. Typically, we don't really touch the squat and the bench. It's more the tapering through the accessories. And if anything, we might taper like the secondary deadlift, which is the one thing I will be tapering for myself, is on my secondary deadlift day. Instead of doing my typical 3x4, I'll most likely do something like a 3x2 or a 3x3. But that's still going to give me adequate workload and give me that practice I need going into the primary day, aka meet day. But will just allow me to get a little bit of that fatigue off the deadlift, since that tends to carry the most fatigue in training. And just between that small adjustment and the fact that there won't be any back down sets on my squats on meet day, obviously, my deadlift should show up and feel really, really strong. But as far as squat and bench, there's just no need to mess around with those at all, or even mess around with the accessory work that much, other than maybe pulling back on the intensity a little bit, because I already know that doing the volume and the workload that I did last block on the week 3, where I didn't taper anything, had me feeling really strong on my squat and my bench. So there's just no need to get overly aggressive with tapering that, even with the accessory work. Like I said, some of the back movements might pull back on those, maybe like the curls and stuff like that, but like, you know, my press downs, my flies, my dips, my movements that are actually a part of like my chest and tricep work, gonna keep those pretty standard to what I typically do, just so I'm not pulling back anywhere unnecessarily. But yeah, it feels good to feel confident, man. Like I have not felt this confident going into a meet since the last time I did national meets, Mega Nats for USAPL in Vegas, what was it, like 3 years ago in 2022. And I think a big part of that too was just the fun of the prep, because I was prepping and then all my clients were prepping as well. And that's the same thing with this. I'm prepping and all my clients are prepping for nationals as well. And not to say I haven't had good meets since then. Once again, I've PR'd the total every year, and hopefully we do that again at this meet. 10 years of powerlifting, 10 years of PRing the total. But I think it's just different because I feel confident and I know why. Like everything is set as it should be on the squat, the bench, the deadlift. And my mentality, I'm just in a really good headspace, man, because I know that despite how good I'm feeling, I could go in on the day and maybe not feel as good as I'm expecting, or maybe I mess up somewhere. Like it's very possible, but I'm just at so much peace with knowing that I feel strong, I feel confident. This prep has been great. I've done everything that I can. And the rest, I just leave in the Lord's hands, man. Like whatever he has for me on the day, that's what it's going to be. And regardless of how the day goes, it doesn't take away from all the work that I put into this prep, but it's just nice to go in knowing like, nah, I'm going to smash it. I feel super confident in saying that. And it's exciting, man. Like I said, especially since this will be my only meet for the year and my last meet for a little bit until 2026 at the earliest. I just want to really end on a high note, man. Like go 9 for 9, PR each lift, break into 600 pounds. Just have that super meet. I think that'd be a great way to end things, especially like for the 10-year mark of my powerlifting journey. So I believe it's going to go down, and there's nothing much left to do. I just have to rest, recover, get through the rest of this week 1, and I'll be chilling. But yeah, today was just a really good session, and it's just nice to be at this point, not even just with training, but just like with life, where it's like, I know what I need to do, and I just got to do it. Like in terms of being a coach, a lifter, a husband, a father, a Christian, just everything. It's like life is just very smooth right now, and not because I'm not having to deal with stuff in the background, right? But more so just my attitude towards things and the way I'm responding to things as they arise. It's just a lot better than what it's been in the past, and I think that just comes with maturity of experiencing life, maturity of growing in my faith even more. And I thank God for it, man. All glory to God, all glory to Jesus Christ. But that's really all I've got to say. Yeah, I appreciate you guys as always. Always appreciate your guys' support with my prep series and just the content in general. And all of you show me love, whether it be here on YouTube, Instagram, Powerlifting Now, whatever it may be. But yeah, next time I talk to you guys, it will be on the platform in Atlanta. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what can get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.